Man, I was ticked. Don't they know who I am? Jesse Minch with Inspire Video Marketing, where I show you how to inspire with your video and make a great living while doing it. In this video, I've got a really good story with some powerful, valuable things that you can take from it. So, I was thinking about starting this Inspire Video Marketing brand and YouTube channel about a year ago. And I bumped into someone at a video marketing conference that seemed like he had some experience in, marketing with video and YouTube, and worked with some pretty big name people. And I valued his opinion. I just met this guy, so I didn't know him well, but I could tell from some of the people he knew and has worked with that I could probably, take what he'd said and at least somewhat considering. So I was kind of telling him like, yeah, right now I have Get Handles Basketball, my other YouTube channel, which has, at the time it had like 400,000 subscribers, and told him a little bit about that and said, I'm looking at trying to do a little bit more with helping people grow a YouTube channel and Facebook through video, and then also how to build an online business with it. And I think he took from that more like the YouTube growth side of things, which there's a lot of channels on that, and that's exactly what he said. He says there's a lot of competition with that. So, I definitely considered what he had to say, because I could tell he worked with some people that I respected, and respected basically from what I heard what he could do. So I was like, okay, well, I'll definitely have to kind of consider that and think about that, think about how I angle it, and position it a little bit more towards the business side of things, which I have been doing for this channel. With that being said, about a month into starting this channel, so I actually finally had it started, I posted something on a Facebook group kind of showing a little side-by-side of how many subscribers I had on Get Handles Basketball and this channel, which was not even close. And I said, looking forward to the journey. I'm enjoying learning and going through the process of starting a channel again, because it's kind of a fun adventure. I'm enjoying the struggle, and saying how I'm going to get to 100,000 subscribers. And this guy commented on it saying basically how, well, basketball's got a much bigger audience. Good point. We talk marketing here, got to keep in mind your strategy. So he said, basketball's got a much bigger audience, but probably, more competition, but since it's a bigger audience, you have a much better chance of, getting to that point than you do with this other channel. So basically saying, there's not as big of an audience for people looking to do video marketing, which I think he thought I was just trying to do like how to grow on YouTube, not also a little bit of the business side of things. And so because of that, he said, well, there's not as much of an audience. And that's what kind of made me mad. And I'll go over why in a little bit. And it kind of made me think to the like, doesn't he know who I am? You'll see what I mean by that in a second. I don't mean like I'm a big deal. Stay tuned. So I was kind of like, okay, well, maybe this guy is like this other guy that I met at the marketing conference and kind of knows what he's talking about. So I was like, let me dig into this guy a little bit. So I kind of Facebook stalked him a little, checked out his profile. And I pulled up his page, and it looked like he was promoting a YouTube channel from his personal Facebook profile. I was like, okay, cool. So he's on YouTube. Cool. Well, let's see what this guy's doing, and maybe I should consider what he has to say. So I go to his YouTube channel, and guess how many videos are on it? 0. Not a single upload. He had like, I don't know how many subscribers, 10, 15. I don't know how he got them with no videos. Maybe he had a few friends go there, whatever the case may be. So that got me thinking on a couple things, and here's where some of the valuable lessons come in. First of all, if someone's giving you that advice and they haven't even started a YouTube channel, there's definitely a huge grain of salt needs to be taken from their advice. Now, again, his points are still somewhat valid, but someone that leaves a comment like that that's somewhat pessimistic, maybe you want to call it realistic, but I always say, hey, if you want to ever achieve something big, you can't afford to just be a realist. You got to be a little bit of an optimist, or maybe a lot of an optimist. I mean, you got to be somewhat realistic in certain areas. Well, this guy that was leaving this comment, it's easy for you to sit back and say, well, that won't work about everything, and never do anything and never fail. Like, okay, that takes no effort, no guts whatsoever. Not to call him gutless, but I guess I kind of did. Not that I'm that salty anymore, but at the time I was kind of like, dude, you're gonna like sit here and tell me you can't do this when you've never even tried to do something. And for me, like, I would much rather fail 1,000 times over and over and over and keep learning from it, building from it, figuring out what works, figuring out what doesn't, and eventually have that one massive success, right? Maybe I'll have one video that finally blows up, boom, skyrockets me to another 10,000, 20,000 subscribers, right? And I get another video like that, and another video, and next thing you know, I'm there. I'd rather fail though and have a bunch of videos that flop and eventually get there than just to sit back and be like, yeah, that'd probably be too hard, I can't do that, or you shouldn't do that. Like, that takes no skill whatsoever to do. So that's the first part. The second part is whenever you're gonna get advice from people, it's not to say that we should look down on people that don't have as many subscribers or that their advice is worthless, but like I've heard this from a lot of successful people and marketers and just gurus in general, that you should never take into consideration the advice of someone who hasn't achieved as much as you have in your particular field. So in this case, I'd achieved a big channel on YouTube, and this guy was sitting here trying to tell me like, hey, you probably can't grow this other channel. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying you should never consider their advice. I don't think that's true. Like people have good ideas and angles and things you might not think of normally, or have some innovative element you could bring into the mix, but you always got to take it with a huge grain of salt. So does he know who I am? Part of this. This is where, he can make a judgment about where my channel could go based on, what the market size is and all those sorts of things. Okay, fine, fair enough. But what he cannot make a judgment on is based on me. And this is a huge message for you, because if you want to be successful, like think like I'm thinking here. You got to like look at it like I'm going to get there, right? He doesn't know me and my perseverance. He doesn't know my knowledge of YouTube, and he doesn't know that I'm willing to keep going and figure out, from what works and what doesn't, how to make that YouTube channel work. Where did I fail? Where are the opportunities? And continue to chip away. If you have that kind of a mentality, you can achieve pretty much anything. That's what he did not know about me. And that's what I mean when I say, does he know me? He doesn't know all those qualities I have as a person. And that is one of the biggest X factors that will determine success in business, in life, in any goal you want to achieve. With that being said, you do want to set good goals. Now, I know getting this channel to 100,000 subscribers is completely attainable. There's other channels I've seen that have way more than this. So if they could do it, I can do it. I know I can. That's not to say there's not any competition, but really on YouTube, it's not so much competition, because those channels that have a lot of views, that's an opportunity for me to show up in suggested videos next to them, right? So with that being said, how do you set good goals? And how do you stay determined to reach them, right? That's one of the biggest qualities we're talking about here. Well, this YouTube video covers exactly how to do that. Make sure you check that out. It will change the way you set your goals and how you get towards them. Subscribe and click the bell icon to catch the newest videos, and I'll see you in that video next.